So your entire email system is going to go down because you tried to use the wrong tool for the wrong job. The primary purpose of your email provider is for you to be able to have one-to-one business communication. The primary purpose of the email marketing service is to build and manage an email list to be able to send newsletters, promotional campaigns. I see that they either try to use their email provider for marketing or using their email marketing platform for business communication. And the truth is, neither one of them works well. When you try to force one tool to do both jobs, you end up with legal risk and a system that breaks down as you grow instead of growing with you, which is ultimately what you want it to do to support your business. Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Tips Tuesday, where we are going to be diving into a conversation about email services, both email marketing and your email service provider. What we are going to cover today is what exactly an email service provider is, what an email marketing service is, why you can't, or at least shouldn't use one tool for both jobs, what this means for your business, and then how to get your email systems set up right. Okay. So today I want you to understand that your email marketing service and your email service provider are not the same thing. If there's anything that you take away from this today, that is it right there. Okay. But I want you to stick around so you can understand why. Because trying to use one tool for both jobs is going to cost you. And we're going to talk about what the difference is between, say, Google Workspace and platforms like Kit or MailerLite, and why you actually need both and what happens when you try to make one tool do everything. Okay. Now, I have heard people say, I have Google Workspace. Isn't that the same thing? When I get to talking to them about having an email marketing provider and building up their email list, I hear this at least once a month. But the thing is, your email provider and your email marketing service are two completely different tools that are set up to do two completely different jobs. Now, the first thing I want to break down is what is an email provider and what it is used for. Your email provider is, think like your Google Workspace, Outlook, Apple Mail. It is where you have your professional email address. And that's the one that typically ends in whatever your business domain name is instead of like gmail.com or outlook.com. For example, in the studio, my email address is support@studio117creative.com. That lives inside of Google Workspace. And the primary purpose of your email provider is for you to be able to have one-to-one business communication. So think about client correspondence, project emails, any type of team collaboration. So like each team member having their own email address to communicate within the team, and then also one-to-one with clients, or even, in a small group, how you would use email, right? In these tools, usually you will also see features like calendar integration, document storage, and many different productivity tools that help you manage your business. So again, in Studio117 Creative, I use Google Workspace for my regular business communication and also for the calendar integration and document storage. Me personally, I am kind of impartial to Google because it does integrate with so many different things. Most of my clients use Google in some capacity. So when I'm setting up their project folders and things like that, getting them acclimated to the platform is not really something that I have to worry about. Now, my CRM, which you've heard me say before, I use Moxie for my client relationship management. It is actually also integrated with my Google Workspace email. And I have it set up so that like when a new lead or client is added in Moxie, they are also added as a contact in Google Workspace. Some of that is done through automations. So that way, everyone I work with is organized and accessible, whether I'm in my Moxie hub or in Google Workspace, which is connected to Moxie. And this is kind of where I live. It is my professional email hub and where the day-to-day communication happens in my business. Now, your email marketing service. That is going to be a platform. There are several of them out there. You can find the one that works for you. I personally use Kit, which is formerly known as ConvertKit. You have MailerLite, you have MailChimp, you have ActiveCampaign. There are so many different ones that are out there, but it is designed specifically for sending emails to groups of people. So your subscribers or your email list or your audience. And the primary purpose of the email marketing service is to build and manage an email list to be able to send newsletters, promotional campaigns. In those services, you also have some additional functionality where you can track who is opening and clicking on your emails. You can use it to grow your audience and also nurture warm leads for your business. Now, whether you realize it or not, you have been added to the email marketing service, I'm sure, of several different places, whether it be your utilities company or your favorite stores that you shop at and you're on their rewards program or whatever else, and you get their regular emails for sales and things like that. They're using an email marketing platform or email marketing service to be able to reach out to those different customers, whether it be like the whole group of customers as a whole, people who have showed interest in their products but maybe not bought them before, or even segments of their product lines or service offerings or whatever it may be. Okay. So giving you an example, because I always like to be able to connect it for you back to how I am actually using it. In my email marketing tool, like I said, is Kit, which is different from Google Workspace. So when clients contact me about services, I request to be able to add them to my email list. So then they get my newsletters, they hear about new service launches, they get invited to promotional opportunities that I may be offering, and they also get to stay connected to what's happening in the studio even after our project ends. Alternatively, people have the ability to also sign up on my subscribe page and several other places on my website. This is completely separate from just day-to-day communication. Now, the nice thing about it is if I send out an email marketing message, for example, my Tips Tuesday email, I oftentimes do get personal responses from people who are on my email list, whether they're responding to tell me that the message was helpful or that they learned something, or to say, hey, I have a question about what it is that you shared. Or, you know what, getting this email reminded me that I wanted to actually get a quote. How do I go about doing that? And so it does allow them to respond to the messages, which then end up in my actual work inbox in Google Workspace. So they are two totally separate tools, but there is some kind of connection between the two, which is why I said you need both. Essentially, the email marketing service is how I stay top of mind, providing ongoing value and letting people know when I have something that might be helpful for them. So Google Workspace handles my one-to-one professional communication. My email marketing platform is going to handle my one-to-many audience building and nurturing and just overall community building via email. Okay. So that's the difference between the two. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is why you can't, or at least shouldn't, use one tool for both of these jobs. I see business owners try to make this work all the time. I understand that we are all trying to determine what is worth spending the money on, and everything has a cost associated with it. But let's talk about why you shouldn't do that and why it is beneficial to have both services. Some of the things that I see is that they either try to use their email provider for marketing or using their email marketing platform for business communication. And the truth is, neither one of them works well. Okay. So when you try to use your email provider for marketing, let's say you decide to use Google Workspace to send your monthly newsletter to your entire client list. At some point, you are going to run into some serious problems. Platforms like Google Workspace and things like that have sending limits. And depending on how many people you have on your email list, you could hit that sending limit. So Google Workspace has a sending limit of 500 emails per day. If your list is bigger than that, or if you want to grow beyond that, then you're stuck, right? And even if you're under that limit now, what happens when you grow? It limits your ability to scale your marketing and you're capped at 500 emails a day. Now that's including like your day-to-day communications with your customers, but then also these group emails that you may want to send. If you reach or exceed those limits, then Google may, or more than likely, will temporarily suspend your sending ability. And now you can't send marketing emails and you can't send your regular business emails either. So your entire email system is going to go down because you tried to use the wrong tool for the wrong job. Something else that happens is that your emails will end up in spam. So email providers like Google Workspace and Outlook aren't designed for bulk sending. Now, sending an email to a group of 20 people because it is relevant to them and everyone might respond or needs to be in the know or something like that, that's different from sending like a mass marketing email. And when you start sending the same email to hundreds of people from a business email account, internet service providers, or sometimes also called ISP, will see that as suspicious behavior. When they mark it as suspicious behavior or flag it, then your emails start landing in spam folders instead of inboxes, which defeats the purpose of your efforts anyway. The more you do this, the worse your sender reputation gets. And eventually, even your regular business emails start getting flagged because you've damaged your domain's reputation by using your email provider for marketing. So see how it kind of works against you? Another thing that can happen is you violate email marketing laws. And here's something that people don't realize. Email marketing is regulated by laws like the CAN-SPAM and GDPR. These laws require things like clear abilities to unsubscribe, making sure that you have accurate sender information so that people know exactly who the email is coming from, and then also proper consent management. Get this person consent to you sending them marketing emails. I will say there is nothing more frustrating than starting to get emails from a place that I'm like, I don't even know how I got on their email list. And in Google Workspace or Gmail or whatever you may be using, it gives you the ability to mark that email as spam. Every time you have someone do that, if you start to have that happen way too often, again, you are damaging your sender and domain reputation, okay? The other thing is you have no way to manage unsubscribe requests. So people have no ability to opt out. You're just sending them emails that they may not want to receive, and they have no way to say, hey, I don't want to receive these other than marking them as spam, which again takes us back to my previous point. You have no way to track the consent, and you're leaving yourself open to legal trouble, making it impossible for people to opt out even if they want to. The last thing that I want to point out from a business perspective is that you have no way to track what's actually working. So when you send marketing emails from your email provider, you're basically just flying blind. You can't see who's actually opened your emails. You can't see who's clicked links in your emails. And you can't segment your list based on user behavior. You also can't automate follow-up sequences. So you have no data to tell you whether your marketing is working, and you're guessing instead of improving. You're spending time creating content without knowing if anyone is actually engaging and enjoying it, okay? So marketing software gives you the ability to do some of those things, being able to see who opened your emails, see who clicked the links in them, what kind of things they may be interested in, and then also being able to set up automation sequences based on their activity and engagement. Okay, let's talk about the reverse of that and what happens when you try to use your email marketing tool as your email provider. Okay, so this is what happens when it's the other way around. And this does not work either. And here's why. Email marketing platforms aren't designed for one-to-one communication. They're designed for campaigns, not conversations. So in your email marketing software, when you send out your newsletter or when you send out information about a promotion, those are called campaigns. When you are communicating with a client or with someone who wants to partner with you or whatever else, those are conversations. Two totally different things. So if you try to reply to a client inquiry from an email marketing platform, they're going to get a response with like a no reply at youremailmarketing.com or some sort of generic sending address, which then looks unprofessional and it makes it harder for clients to communicate with you. Plus, you're missing all of the business email features you actually need. Features like having your calendar integrated, having contact management, having the ability to share documents, or the ability to have actual threaded conversations that you can go back and reference later if needed. Email marketing tools don't give these things because that is not what they are intended or built for. Okay. So your clients don't want to receive project updates and proposals from your newsletter platform. They want clear, professional business communication from a real business email address that is sent from a real person. Okay. So what this actually means for your business, and this is the bottom line, is that you need both tools to do what they do best. Your email provider, your Google Workspace, Outlook, or whatever, is going to handle your business communication. Your email marketing service, like your Kit or MailerLite, is going to handle your audience growth and marketing. This really isn't optional if you want to grow sustainably and professionally. The investment in both tools literally pays for itself in deliverability, compliance, professionalism, and the ability to actually track and improve your marketing efforts. When you try to force one tool to do both jobs, you end up with worse results. You end up with legal risk and a system that breaks down as you grow instead of growing with you, which is ultimately what you want it to do to support your business. Again, the biggest thing that I want you to understand is that you cannot use one tool to do both jobs. Now, if you are not sure where you stand or what it is that you need, I am here to talk through that with you. You can always book a strategy call with the studio, and I can help you figure out exactly which tools make sense for your business, your budget, and how to get them working without the tech overwhelm. Okay. If you decide that, like, I know I need these things, I've kind of been putting it off, but I don't want to be the one to set it up or implement it, we do also have done for you systems set up for both email providers and email marketing platforms. So you can do what you do best, run your business while we handle the tech. Okay. If you have any questions, comments, or whatever, feel free to drop them below. I respond to each of them myself. And then also don't forget to like and share and subscribe. Until next time, folks.